Welcome to the Veterans Cafe Podcast, Episode 4. Alright, so welcome to the 4th episode of the Veterans Cafe Podcast. Thank you guys for listening. If you are listening, I'm Wes.
And I'm Tracy.
And this time around, we actually wanted to talk to you a little bit. We really wanted to focus on the veterans and currently serving soldiers who are considering using the GI Bill, and why, if you're not considering using it, you definitely should be. I know we talked a little bit last time about having Noah Galloway on, and we definitely will be soon. He's actually out traveling across the country right now, giving talks to a bunch of young kids. So we've been in touch with him, and we're definitely going to fix up a time to make sure that we can make that happen. But until then, we still wanted to keep bringing you guys a few episodes before my wife departs me and leaves me here by myself for 2 weeks, right?
Well, I'm going on a mission. It's not like I'm leaving you.
She's leaving. I mean, she's gone. She's going to be gone for like almost 2 weeks.
12
and it's just
days.
going to be... That's 2 weeks. Come on, let's face it. Sunday
days.
doesn't count.
It counts in the Army.
No, it doesn't. Most of come on, they get every Sunday
Do you know
off.
how many Sundays I have worked?
That's because you're a reservist, though.
No, but like when we went to the mission that we were just in Florida that actually got us here, we worked like on Sundays and Saturdays, and I was exhausted. That's a whole nother topic, though. But you know what? That might just be us cool combat camera. Maybe just us, you know.
Yeah. So there it is. So the inevitable
departure of the wife
is happening, and it's just going to be me and the two pups here.
The little angels.
Yeah. So both
are sulking right now.
They're either sulking or passed out.
They're sulking, I can tell.
Yeah, her eyes are wide open, so they're sulking. They're upset that we're not giving them attention. But anyways, just going to be me and the two pups here for about 2 weeks, almost 2 weeks, 12 days. And so we wanted to actually, like I had said before, we wanted to actually put out a couple episodes for you guys to consume, because I do not want to continue to do this podcast alone. When we started this thing, we said it was going to be me and my wife, and we're going to make sure that it stays that way. So
sweet.
So we're gonna go ahead and crank out a few more episodes before she does leave here in a couple of days, and hopefully we'll be able to do enough that I can release one or two here or there while she's gone. So,
and your biography.
And my biography as well. So anyways, getting back to the point, like I said, Noah Galloway is going to be on hopefully here in a week or two after my wife gets back. And until then, we wanted to talk to you guys a little bit today about the GI Bill and why, if you're not considering using it or you're not in college right now as a veteran, you definitely should be.
Definitely.
It's at the point today to where basically it's like having a high school diploma used to be, 30 or 40 years ago. If you didn't have a high school
diploma. Back in my day.
Yes, my wife is an old lady, for those of you that don't know.
Yeah, for those of you who don't know, I'm 10 and a half years older, but that's a whole nother story.
So there you go.
Anyway.
Little tidbit, little detail. But anyways, so today is becoming, like I said, it's at a point to where having a high school diploma used to be is what having a bachelor's degree is now. So having a bachelor's degree is almost a must. And I'm not even talking just for getting a better paying job right off the bat, but just entering the workforce in something higher than minimum wage.
It's pretty difficult now.
You basically have to have a bachelor's degree to do it.
And you have to have experience, which really how you're going to get experience. So it's the whole cycle.
And one of the points we want to make with the GI Bill in the first place is that not everyone needs to go to college. There are vocational schools out there.
Definitely.
If there's a certain trade
there's
that you
like
want
a
to
lot of
go into,
associate things you could do. Right? Like you don't have to do the full 4 years.
And it's not even an associate thing. It's mostly a certification thing or something like that, So getting certificates that has to do with like being a machinist. I was a machinist for 4 years working for my dad. So
and photography.
Right, photography. All kinds of like web design. You can go and get certifications in different types of Adobe programs and stuff like that. Or
I know there's like cosmetology out there too, because I know some soldiers who are pursuing that right now.
Right, and there's stuff, welding, any kind of trade.
And the thing that's amazing about all of those trades is the Army with the GI Bill is going to pay for it, right? So you already signed the contract, right? You're in the Army. In my opinion, make the best of the time you're in.
Absolutely. So if you ever hear anything about when it comes to like student loans and creditors, right? So when one of these big crediting companies, like Equifax or TransUnion or whatever, looks at your credit and they see student loan debt on your credit, they actually see that as a plus because they see that as an investment in your future. Now, understand right off the bat, I'm not telling you to go out and get student loan debt. What I'm telling you is that getting that education is seen as an investment in your future. I have a history degree, and I'm not a historian. I'm not a teacher. I'm not any of those things. The point is, I'm not any of those things that people would assume I would be as a history major. The point is, I invested in my future, and by broadening my horizons, by going through education and all that kind of stuff, right? They just see it as something that you're doing to better yourself. So you should look at that in any way you do it. Whether you do go to a vocational school is definitely going to be much more beneficial because you're going to learn a specific skill
in a shorter amount of time.
Exactly,
right?
and that actually equates to experience in some way or another, right?
Yeah, it's like on-the-job training, I believe, is what some of those. Well, maybe not, but
it can be similar to it. But I mean, if you go and you do like a welding program at a community college or something, then you are getting experience. You are going to be out there welding and everything, just as if you were on the job.
Every time you say welding, you know what I think of?
What?
Flashdance. Every single time. But go ahead, sorry.
So now that we're back in the 2000s.
I know. I told you I was older. Sorry.
Yeah. So, I was born in the 80s. I know what Flashdance is. It's just the thing is that I've moved on with my life. So I'm not stuck there.
It's
so
such a significant time in mine, but that's okay.
And which, by the way, Flashdance is a horrible example because she obviously had to work 2 jobs. So we're just going to disregard that entire point. But the point we're trying to make here, is that if you did go to get a welding certification or something like that, then yeah, first of all, it is experience, even though you're not working for a company or getting paid. But secondly, and most importantly, it's a certification. I guarantee you, if you go to apply to one of these companies and you have experience welding, but you don't have that certification, then you've just become second in line.
Like Alex.
All right, Flashdance. We're talking about real people now.
Sorry, go ahead.
So if all of a sudden you don't hear my wife talking at all anymore and it's just me, it's probably because she's broken out into dance in the other side of the room.
Well, the bathroom with the shower is right over there.
But if you've ever seen my wife dance, you also know that you'll hear things breaking all over the place.
Yeah, no rhythm. But anyway, that's true.
So,
just if there's a soldier out there who was already in the Army. And, they're considering college, and hopefully my husband is motivating you to consider college, just for your future. If, you decide to get out of the military at some point, you want to be able to take care of your family. And, it's important, incredibly important, right, to take education in school. Just, it's a good thing to focus on. But aside from that, if you stay in the military, there's things like promotion points, because, once you hit a certain rank, it's not automatic anymore. You're going to have to work for it. You're going to have to show the Army why you deserve the rank. So, education is, just I think it's one of the easiest ways to get points. But, that's just my opinion.
It is. And for most of you that are in active duty, while you're still in active duty, most of you can actually get education for free. You're not even using your GI Bill benefits at that point. You can actually go down to your education center and you can sign up for classes down there. I did it when I was in active duty. I did horrible at it because I didn't give a crap about it, and I was irresponsible and whatnot. And I know I'm sitting here preaching to you and telling you to be responsible, and me 10 years ago, I wouldn't have listened to me either. But the point is, it's there for you, and if you actually are one of those responsible individuals that's considering it, you should definitely go down to the education center wherever you're stationed and look into it, because they do offer college classes, and what those classes will do is they'll go towards your core curriculum. So when you get out and you start going to a community college or a real university, those classes will transfer and end up being credit for you, so you've already knocked out a little bit of college, and you're saving some of your post 9/11 GI Bill. Because if you decide to go on after your bachelor's, that little bit that you have left will go towards your master's. And we're not just talking about them paying for your tuition, we're talking about a monthly payment that you're getting.
Which is, how a lot of people survive, right? A lot of people go to school full time, and that extra amount, that they get per month is how they survive and pay their bills, right?
Absolutely. If you're getting the post 9/11 GI Bill, then what you're getting on a monthly basis, as long as you're in school full time, you're getting the equivalent of E5 BHA pay, right?
I think that's pretty, I don't want to say the word generous, but that's definitely enough for most people to get by on. Wouldn't you say?
I said BHA. I think it's BAH, right? Yeah, so BAH. Sorry, E5 BAH pay. Yeah, and it's a pretty good chunk of change, And we survived on it for a long time. But to be fair, also, you can look up when you start going to college, wherever you're going to college. Look up the zip code. Go to the VA website. Find out what your BAH rate is for the zip code you live in, and find out what that base pay rate is. If you came in the Army and signed up for a college bonus and you're getting that BAH rate, the base rate, then they're not honoring your contract, and there's something is missing out of what they should be paying you. So make sure you look into that. Pay close attention to what you're being paid, because they probably owe you a little bit more because you signed up for a college bonus instead of taking a cash bonus. Somehow, as an 18-year-old, I was smart enough to take the college bonus instead of the cash bonus, and it paid off for me in a huge way while I was going to college, right? I didn't even work most of college because we got paid enough money that we didn't even have to worry about it. So I was able to totally focus on school. I went to school some semesters. I was going 15 hours, even 18 hours one semester, and I was really just trying to knock it out as quick as I could. So really pay attention to what's going on. Stay in touch with your VA. Once you go to a university, most of them, from what I understand, at least the school I went to, they definitely had an awesome VA team, an entire VA team devoted to veterans and taking care of veterans. So make sure you get in touch with them. Now, if you're going to a community college, this is kind of where you're going to have to fend for yourself, So there's going to be a counselor in there who's designated as the VA rep, but...
And a lot of times they'll be like, what? I'm the VA rep.
Right. So he or she knows nothing. But
don't give up.
Yeah, and I'm not saying they're all bad. Most of them will probably try and be as helpful as possible.
But don't give up for the one or two that, aren't jumping at the chance to help you.
Right. And so, give them the benefit of the doubt. They're going to try and help you either way. Most of them want to, see you succeed. So...
And then, we talked about education, right? And we talked about like student loans and like GI Bill, but there are some contracts out there where, if you're an older soldier and you don't want to go to college, for whatever reason, you have children, you can transfer those benefits to your children. I think that's amazing. Of course, it's going to depend on your contract, but I just think that's an important thing to mention because there may be some soldiers out there who don't realize that.
No, it is true. And I'm not sure if it depends on your contract or not. I'm pretty sure as long as you don't use the benefits, you can transfer those benefits to your children.
But it's definitely something to look into. It's just all I wanted to throw out there.
Yeah, sure. If you already have a degree, or if you don't plan on going at all, or if you're planning on going to like a short vocational school or education program or something like that, then definitely look into it, because you can transfer whatever remaining benefits you have, you can transfer those to your kids or your spouse. So you can help them out with getting, pursuing whatever their education needs are.
And then there's also the cadets out there,
which typically have free tuition, right?
Yeah.
But that also, of course, that also comes with, a pretty much an obligatory term of service.
But the term of service is as an officer.
Right.
I'm just saying, that I think that could be incredible. And the only reason I mentioned that is, because that's just one of those things that I think, I've only been in 3 units and they're just under 6 years. So, it's not like, and I've met like thousands and thousands upon people, but there are some soldiers that, I meet and I run into and I see at drill and things like that. And they don't realize that they can do some of these things. So that's why I just wanted to throw it out there. Whether you do decide to use your GI Bill or, any of the options that my husband just talked about, once you get out of the Army, there are definitely organizations that are out there that will help you. You know, you want to find a job, right? And unfortunately, there are definitely, in my opinion, way too many employers who don't want to hire veterans. And I'm not sure why that is. I don't know if it's because they don't understand that some of, you know, what we learn and what we do on a daily basis will translate. I don't know what those reasons are, but there are some organizations out there. So the other part of this podcast we wanted to talk about was jobs for veterans. And my gosh, I actually just recently discovered that there are art programs that are focused on just veterans. Sorry.
No.
Go ahead.
Yeah, so what she's talking about specifically about the art program is we live here in around Tampa, Florida. And there's an area, and well, you know more about the program than I do. So,
well, I mean, I'm very lucky. You know, I'm a photographer, and since we got here in Florida, I've just been really lucky. I found a curator, and you know, I'm in two different places, 2 different locations, and I have some exhibits that I'm really proud of. And anyway, talking to like a third location, I realized that St. Petersburg is actually what's known now as like the Mecca of art, and I didn't realize that. It's not that far away. And anyway, I just realized that they have like exhibits that are solely for veterans. So I don't know, it just blew me away, and it got us thinking about, you know, we're really lucky, right? We've been really lucky in our military and civilian lives, and we haven't really had to use some of the programs that are out there, but we just wanted people to know that they are out there.
Yeah, they definitely are, and to be honest, from what I've seen of it and from what I've read about it, the local ones are going to be way more helpful than the, you know, national or state ones. There are plenty of nationwide organizations, websites, all that stuff that are out there to help veterans find jobs, right? I signed up for, when I started job hunting when I came home, I signed up for recruitmilitary.com, and I got on gijobs.com and all those kinds of websites, which, don't get me wrong, they're awesome websites, and the thing that they do better than anything else is to show you what kinds of jobs are out there, right? All the listings and stuff. Because I'm going to tell you right now, I've had a horrible experience getting on, like, what were all the ones I signed up for? Like Monster and... oh,
my God, there were so many. I can't even think of
them.
Yeah,
there was a ton of them. And I signed up...
And you got thousands of emails a day.
Yeah, and I went all out on it, right? My wife even... she took, like, these professional photos of me. I was, like, crazy redoing my resume all the time just for these websites. And... I can tell you right now, if you sign up for Monster and and you go to apply for a job and it's like, it says on there like easy apply, right? We just use your Monster resume and we just send it straight to them so you don't have to fill out anything else. Well, I'll tell you what, I never got a single response from one of those easy apply
and
job
you wasted
postings.
Hours of your life.
Exactly, I did. I wasted a ton of hours, man, just signing up for those. And so let me tell you right now, those are useless, and you'll get emails back from them, right? And it'll say
they'll be so generic.
They are generic, but some of them they're like, hey, you know, we reviewed your resume and you look like you would be perfect for our position. Why don't you come on down and do an interview with us, and we'll tell you what we're all about. And I went down. There was one of them. I went down for this interview.
With this amazing suit and tie, you look so cute.
I was like ready. All spiffed out.
You were ready to go.
And it was like. And I went down there, and it was an insurance company, and it was straight out of Boiler Room. If you've seen Boiler Room,
what's that amazing scene
with Ben Affleck, and he gets up there and he's like, "Hey, you know, you want to make this kind of money? You want to drive my car and all this kind of stuff?"
Alex Baldwin.
No, that was a totally different movie.
Oh, what's in the movie I'm talking about? I'm sorry. What movie am I talking about?
You're talking about the one where he's always talking about closing. You know, coffees for closers.
What is the name of that movie? Ed Harris was in there, right? He was yelling at Ed Harris. I'm sorry.
Yeah, no.
I love that scene. When I was a personal trainer in Lifetime in Houston and City Center, oh my God, it was so much fun. And anyway, it was a great part of, and a great time in Houston. Anyway, one of our senior managers, because we used to have weekly meetings. Or bi-weekly.
Glengarry Ross.
Yes. So we used to have meetings, talking about sales and things like that. And anyway, they played that one, and it was so awesome.
Yeah,
Sorry.
So coffee's for closers, but that's not what we're talking about here. I'm talking about Ben Affleck and Vin Diesel, and it's a newer movie, you know. We're out of the 80s now. So we're beyond Flashdance. So we're
and Alex Baldwin.
It's Alec.
Sorry.
Not that he cares. He's probably...
He's excited to be mentioned.
Probably.
I'm kidding.
He's still busy, like, counting the Cheerios in his bowl right now. Anyways, anyways, this whole thing was just crazy, right? I went in there, and they gave us that whole same talk, man. It was weird. It was crazy. And then, at the end of it, the guy was like... And all you had to do is pay $120-something So anyways, my point coming back, that was a very long road we just traveled down to make this point. You sound like me
telling the story.
Exactly. That very long road we just traveled down to tell this point. But the point is, all those kind of emails that you get. Listen, unless you're like a die-hard salesperson, if you're that good at it, then go for it. That's the kind of job for that kind of person.
That is a skill. That's so awesome.
Yeah, you want to work 70 hours a week or something. If you're all into that and you want to do sales and you want to make some crazy amount of money, then go for it. If that's what you're into or if that's what you're good at, then pursue it. But if not, I'm telling you right now, that's what you're going to hear if you go to if you respond to one of those emails.
Coffee's for closers.
That's right. And I was not in the mood to close that day, but I still had coffee. I'm just going to throw that out there. So I can tell you right now, just my own personal experience, the best responses I got was when I would look at these job listings on most of these sites that we just talked about, the military sites and even just regular sites like Monster. If I saw there was a listing with a company, I would just go straight to that company's website. And I would apply directly on that company's website. And most of the time, when I applied that way, I got a response back from them. Even if they were writing me back to say, hey, listen, you suck, we don't want you. Then I still got a response. Right. If I did the whole quick apply thing from Monster, I just never heard anything, ever. Like my... Monster was like, hey, we're taking this guy's resume, and they just threw it off into like some like
limbo
abyss.
land.
Yeah. And that was it. It just went somewhere, and we don't know where, and never came back.
And 3 years later, you'll get a job offer.
So I guess to really take a main point out of this, the main point would be put the work into it. I sat here for 3 months.
It was awesome.
And busted my butt applying and preparing for interviews and all that stuff. And, and I finally got an awesome job, a job that I'm proud.
Part of that, though, was like the holiday season. It's not like you were going places, people weren't interested. People were on vacation for weeks.
Yeah, but I mean, it did take 3 months, and there may have been reasons for I started applying in November, right? Mm-hmm. So right before Thanksgiving. So there was all these things that kind of slowed it down a little bit. But still, the point is, if you put the work into trying to find the job, then it's going to be there for you. And I guarantee you, there are a ton of companies out there that want to hire veterans, and they don't want to hire you because they found you on a veterans job recruiting website. They want to hire you because you marketed yourself properly. The point you have to understand the most is that people look at employment in the wrong way today. People look at employment as if it's some kind of right that someone has to give them. Right? These jobs, these companies basically have this obligatory duty to provide a position for certain people, right? So, it has upset me to see, when I was a manager, it has upset me to see the people that come in for interviews in their shorts and their sandals and unshaven and just don't give a damn about what they're doing that day.
Or they don't even have a copy of their resume.
Right. They just don't care. They come in there just like that. And it's insane to me. When you go to a job interview, when you write your resume, you're writing a sales presentation, and you're letting them know how their company, it's too early. I haven't finished my pitch yet. You don't close until the pitch is done.
No. You always a closer, always closing.
Anyways, moving on. I don't even remember what I was saying now. Golly.
It's because we're married.
So
you were talking about presentation.
Put the work into it. Put the work into your resume. Put the work into how you look, how you dress, how you carry yourself in your interviews. And I guarantee you, they'll see that. The impression that you make is more important than the answers you give. Because how you give an answer is going to convey your personality more than just the words that you said, So you can say, somebody can ask you, what would you do in this situation? And what the words you use to answer that question aren't as important as how you deliver it. The personality you get behind it, the character that you are, the character that you bring to the table. So, put some thought into it, practice it, and prepare for it. I was actually very lucky to have my wife sitting there next to me doing all this, and my wife is, she's been working for like 100 years. So
pretty easily, yeah.
My wife's made like 6-figure incomes and just finally just said, you know what, I want to pursue a different passion. So, and that's awesome. Most people never get to do that in their lives. So I've actually had a great mentor to be next to me and help me through this. So, we just wanted to bring you the guys the same opportunity by letting you know some of this stuff.
No, I agree. I mean, life is what you make of it. Military is the same way. You're going to get out of it what you put into it. And there are tons of resources out there within your unit, a neighboring unit, a former unit, future unit, what have you. There's definitely some resources out there, and definitely take advantage of them. We want to give back, and this is one of the best ways I think that you can give back is just, education.
All right. So in closing, because we're about to have coffee because we just closed this son of a beat.
Coffee's for closers.
So if you guys have any questions, anything about the GI Bill, any of the process, anything going on specifically with you or your school or your contract, anything that's happening, vocational programs, anything like that, email us, themax@vetscafe.com. Or if you want to know anything about job hunting, you want help with your resume, you want help with doing the interviews, anything like that, email us, themax@vetscafe.com. If you go to our website, we actually recently we updated the Skype link as well, so you can chat with us. There's also, of course, the email link where you can just click on it and it opens up your own client, and you can email us. Also, now that we're finally on iTunes and Stitcher, you can subscribe to our podcast, and it will automatically download, come straight to you guys as soon as we post it. And if you do have a moment in your day, maybe even while you're listening to this right now, because, we're going to be talking at least another 2 minutes. It would probably take you half a minute to do this. So while we're still babbling on the rest of this podcast, if you could just go to iTunes and write a review for us, then that would be awesome, because that's going to help us reach out to other veterans and even just anyone who wants to hear our podcast. So we would greatly appreciate it.
That's Sweet Pea.
That's actually whiskey.
No, Sweet Pea's barking. Whiskey was the one all over my face, jumping on me.
So the dogs say hi as well.
And bye.
So thanks for listening to the Veterans Cafe podcast. We look forward to talking to you guys soon. Definitely in the near future. We got to get at least another one in before my wife takes off here in a couple of days. So we'll be keeping you updated, and we hope to talk to you again soon.
Bye.